In a quiet little village, there lived an elderly woman who had never married. Despite her many years, she took great pride in the fact that she had remained a virgin all her life. As she grew older and sensed her time was nearing its end, she decided to visit the local undertaker with a very particular request for her tombstone. She wanted it to read, "Born a virgin, lived a virgin, died a virgin." Eventually, the old woman passed away peacefully. The undertaker, remembering her wishes, instructed his workers to engrave the words exactly as she had asked. However, the workers, known for their laziness, found the long inscription too much trouble. Wanting to save time while still keeping the message simple, they decided to summarize her life story in just 2 words. Her tombstone ended up reading, "Returned unopened." An American businessman was on a trip to Japan for work. During his stay, he decided to experience some local nightlife and hired a Japanese escort for the evening. Throughout their night together, the woman repeatedly cried out, "Fuji-fu, Fuji-fu," which the man, not understanding Japanese, assumed was an expression of pleasure. The next morning, he joined a few Japanese business partners for a round of golf. By pure luck, he hit a hole-in-one, an incredibly rare and exciting achievement. Remembering the word from the previous night, he proudly shouted, "Fuji-fu!" hoping to share his enthusiasm and impress his hosts. But instead of applause, one of the Japanese men looked puzzled and said, "No, you got the right hole." In the peaceful courtyard of a mental institution, 2 patients sat enjoying a warm, sunny afternoon, chatting casually about all sorts of things. After a while, one of them, let's call him Jack, turned to his companion and asked curiously, "Hey, what day were you born on?" The other patient, Mike, thought for a moment before replying confidently, "I was born on a Sunday." Jack stared at him, his face tightening in suspicion. He furrowed his brows, clearly thinking hard about what he'd just heard. Then, after a few moments of silence, his expression suddenly brightened. A wide grin spread across his face, and he burst into uncontrollable laughter. Between fits of giggles, he managed to say, "Ha ha, nice try, buddy. You can't fool me, everyone knows Sunday is a holiday." One evening, an old man returned home, his mind weighed down by the usual worries of life. But as soon as he stepped inside, he sensed something was off. The house was unusually quiet. He called out for his wife, but there was no answer. Room by room he searched, only to find the house completely empty. Then, on the kitchen table, he spotted a note, hastily scribbled words that made his heart drop. It read, "I've run away with your friend, Bob." For a long moment, the old man stood frozen, struggling to process what he'd just read. Bob, his closest friend, had betrayed him, and his wife had left without a second thought. Shock turned to anger, then to sorrow, but life somehow went on. 3 long days passed, filled with restless nights and bitter thoughts. Then, one quiet afternoon, as he sat in his chair trying to read, the front door creaked open. To his disbelief, his wife walked in as though nothing had happened. Furious, the old man leapt to his feet and shouted, "How dare you come back here after running off with Bob? What could you possibly want now?" His wife, calm and completely unfazed, met his glare and said plainly, "I forgot my charger."